As an anchor for my spooky feast, I'm going to do a goulash. I'm going to get a bad dad joke in there somewhere. But the great thing about this dish is that it is so easy. It is a one-pot wonder. Grab a big casserole. I'm going to make a huge pot of it up. It's so easy, and you can freeze any leftovers you don't eat. I'm going to put in some beef. Now, any braised beef. I'm going to use some chuck steak. You really want to use the cheaper cuts of meat. The more expensive cuts aren't as marbled with fat, and they won't break down and be as tender. When you're making any casserole or curry, remember, the meat's going to shrink. So cut it a little bit bigger than you want it at the end. The great thing about this dish, and it's fantastic when you're cooking for a crowd, is you don't have to brown the meat off first.
To thicken the liquid in the casserole and create a good sauce, add a couple of tablespoons of flour. Also season well with plenty of pepper and salt.
So there's some sweet paprika. Again, quite a bit. With goulash, there's a few ingredients that you have to have, and then just mix that to coat all of the meat. This is important, because if you don't do that, it's going to form lumps in the sauce. To that, I'm going to add some chopped onions. Slice them straight down, and I tend to cut onions like this all the time. I find it's the quickest way. Into that, I'm going to add a couple of chilies. And taste those, just check the heat. Oh, that's hot. The onions didn't bring tears to my eyes, but that has, oh.
Now for my star ingredient, the solid white garlic, and I'm using lots of it.
The way you cut garlic is essential to the flavour at the end. If I put these in whole, the flavour would be gentler and sweeter. By slicing them, it's going to be stronger. If I crush them down with the side of a knife, some salt, it's going to even be stronger still. So I just want this flavour to be quite mild, so I'm going to slice them. So that just goes into the pot. Add some tinned tomatoes, a couple of bay leaves. Don't overdo the bay leaves, they're quite strong. Some beef stock, a litre of beef stock, and some red wine vinegar. Quite a decent amount. The vinegar is so important because it really helps balance out the flavour of all those spices, and it is a classic ingredient for goulash. It's not goulash without it. I'm also going to add some tomato paste just to make the flavour even richer, and a couple of pieces of lemon peel just to give it a very gentle flavour, and then just give this a stir just to mix it up.
The goulash will need to slow cook for 3 hours